Nothing says holiday season like a murder Christmas movie. Welcome back to Parking Lot Review number 5, this time over Krampus. Scruff, kick us off.
I've heard bad things walking into the movie, but I actually enjoyed it, oddly enough. I wouldn't say I'm big on the horror movies, but I do enjoy them. I don't see this too bad as a horror movie, more of a moral type of story, and I really enjoy it. They brought it together really well. Would probably rate it probably a 7, maybe a little less, but I saw like pretty close to 7 to me, to round it up to 7 out of 10, of course. A creature that I liked was actually the little gingerbread people.
That was a good one. I enjoyed that scene a lot.
I like those, and the scene that I'm talking about will stand out to people when they watch it.
The funny thing about that scene is that whenever it happened in the movie, me and you started laughing in the middle of this serious movie. It was so great. We're sitting in the back of the auditorium, and this scene happens with these gingerbread people, and me and him could not control it anymore. We just start losing it and laughing because just the sheer oddball of it. It's a gimmick movie, but just the way it was presented was so hilarious that we couldn't help it anymore. That your thoughts on it so far?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. With my thoughts on Krampus, I walked into the movie with an open mind. I heard a lot of negativity in the lobby, and usually I don't listen to people's opinion on that. I do my own review, so I have to have my own opinion on it. Overall, I thought it was a decent movie. It was PG-13 scary, so I mean, nothing's gonna freak you out or give you nightmares.
Yeah, it definitely deserved that rating.
Yeah, and I mean, there was nothing like super horrible about it. Everything was okay. The pacing was good. The build-up for it was okay. There wasn't a whole lot of exposition to it, which kind of bothered me. There was no real backstory to it until about 3/4 of the way through, you say?
Yeah.
About 3/4? And that was the one thing that just stood out and bothered me.
It was about halfway through.
Is it about half? Okay, fine. We'll give it halfway. But that was just the one thing that bothered me, is there was no backstory to why anything was happening until halfway through the movie. So for the first part, when everything's just going wrong, you're just like, why? What is this build-up? Acting, overall, I enjoyed it. The best thing I found out about it was that everybody that's in this movie, or at least the 2 main characters that I saw, are comedy actors. Steven Adams is a comedy actor. He played in Hot Tub Time Machine. And I found it great that they just took on another genre. I like that transition period. And I thought they pulled it off pretty well. I didn't have a problem, just snickering at their acting or anything like that. They put their role in seriously, and it paid off. The other thing that stood out to me was the costume design. The costume design on the creatures in this movie in general was just, I thought, fantastic. They nailed the creepy aspect of it. Like, they introduced elves in this movie, because it's Santa Claus, and they introduced Santa Claus and his elves, and the way that they were just designed, the costumes in general, I thought was just so great to pull off that freaky look to it and give it kind of a horror movie vibe. The actors underneath those costumes must have had a field day, if I could talk right, and it was just great because they were just losing it every time they were on camera. I loved it. They all looked creepy. They all played the part. It was just fantastic. The only thing that bothered me with this movie in general was the ending. The ending's a little ambiguous, and it didn't sit right with me because it seems like they couldn't decide on a proper ending to this. Because here it's one take, and then they just transition it over to another take, and it felt kind of like the end of Inception to me. And I like the ending of Inception, but the way that they pulled this one off, it just didn't feel right for this type of movie. It's a horror movie, it's a holiday themed gimmick movie. The ending that they had with this, I felt, was a little weak. Don't take that as a bad way. I still recommend the movie. Some of you may like the ending. That's just a personal opinion of mine. I definitely recommend it to some of my friends. I'm gonna recommend it to this one. He hasn't seen it yet, and I know he's gonna enjoy giving his little opinion on it later. He's here because we're fixing to film our reaction to the new Batman vs Superman trailer that got dropped on Jimmy Kimmel last night. And let me tell you this, being two comic book nerds on Facebook makes it one hell of a job to not watch this when people are constantly tagging you in that trailer.
Very much.
Alrighty, guys.
Can I name those two or no?
No, we don't have to shout them out on Facebook.
Either way, I mean,
no name dropping.
We know we're ready for the trailer. So, as for your review, what would you rate it?
Great.
Oh yeah. Shit, I paused. I'd have to give it a decent 6.8 out of 10. I'd give it that 7, but just the ending just nicked me.
I'm just gonna say from y'all's review, it sounds like I would butcher this movie.
Yeah, that's how come you went in the review.
I am the wrong person to review a horror movie. I will nitpick every little detail. So it can be bad if I review horror.
I wouldn't consider it a horror. I know it's part of the genre, but it's more of a moral story.
It's more of a creature suspense movie instead of a horror, is what I'd say it is.
Is it supposed to be like the whole like comedy horror type kind of?
No.
This movie takes itself completely serious.
Yes. The only
Oh god.
there's just very tidbits of parts that we laughed at, and it's just because of what they did.
The sheer gimmick of it all is
Yes.
what it topped it off. Because it's a Christmas horror movie. I mean, honestly.
Like, I didn't feel fear. I didn't really feel laughter. It was, I pulled the moral of the story.
Yeah,
from
I
this.
get that. Alrighty then. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. If you like what you see, give us a like and subscribe. It really helps us out. If you have any comment ideas on what you want to see from us, drop them below. You can contact us on Facebook. I share it all over my Facebook page. And drop us a comment on YouTube if you don't have a Facebook page, or have me on Facebook, I should say. And anyway, thanks for watching. See you later.